Hey guys, this is Mr. Grant here. Welcome back. I have a quick little lesson for you guys this week. You guys might want to try out. Okay, so all you really need for this lesson is white paper and your sketchbook, if you got it, and either some kind of marker, and what I'm going to use is glue, scissors, and a scrap of cardboard. So if you can find those things, stop the video and go find all these things that you see. Even a paper towel or napkin or something might help you out. Okay, so boys and girls, what I want to do here is we want to create something unique with easy materials, and it can be a gift idea. And kind of the side connection here is I wanted to teach you an idea of what summarizing is with art. So what I need you to do is pick a marker, and you don't have to do this step, but we're going to draw our thumbprint. I've seen lots of images on the computers of different ways people have used their thumbprint to do an artwork. I'm going to show you some ideas with that. So you can just look at your thumbprint and draw it, or you can take it and stamp it onto a page so you can actually see what your thumbprint looks like. Okay, so once you've done that, you're going to notice how detailed and intricate your thumbprint is. And everybody's fingerprint is different and unique, which is really cool. And that's what we're going to do on here. We're going to look at this, and we're going to try to draw our thumbprint by summarizing it. So I notice that mine swirls up from this side. So the first thing I'm going to do is start in the middle. The middle of the swirl looks like this for mine. And then I'm going to draw another line around it. And notice I picked one color. Right now I'm only using one color. Mine, I'm drawing 1, 2, 3, about 4 lines so far. And there's way more detail in my thumbprint than that. But for this artwork, again, I'm summarizing, which means I'm not drawing every detail. I'm drawing the basic overview of what I see, the basic direction of the line. So if there's 10 lines for my fingerprint, I will probably draw 1 to represent those 10 different directions of the lines. What I would have you do next is, since the thumbprint is unique to you, write a few things about you in the thumbprint that are unique. For instance, for me, I might write they're I am statements. I want you to write some I am statements about yourself. I call this project I Am. It's a great one for the season of Christmas to focus on I am. So I am a cook. I am a brother. I am a hiker or outdoorsman. I am a student. I am an explorer. If you fill up your page with I am statements, what we can do last is add some, if you want to add some water to add some color, that would be awesome. I'm going to draw an oval around this whole thing. And finish up my thumbprint with some artistic details. Okay, boys and girls, so I finished my journal version of my fingerprint artwork. And I really like this because if you want to do it for your journal, it's something you can keep personal to yourself, and it's something you can use to help define yourself and discover who it is that you are and what you like about yourself and what your strengths are. It's a great way for self-discovery to spend some time in art and do something very personal. It doesn't get much more personal than your thumbprint. But if you notice, as far as artistically, what I did is I actually started. I had a plan that I used called color theory. a color theory plan where I started with the yellow in the middle and I worked my way to green, then to blue, and then to violet, because I knew that blue is in the middle of all those colors, and that's what I used first. And so I went to one side of blue and put that in the middle, and I went to the other side of blue on the color wheel and made that my outer edge for the darker color on the outside. Just a little tip for you if you're using more color and lots of color. I also try not to overlap my lines too much until I got near the edges. Those are some little details I think about when I'm doing my artworks. If you want to do this a different way as a gift, I told you you could use this artwork as a gift idea, then this is what I'd recommend if you would like to do that. Take your scrap piece of cardboard, cut out a scrap piece of white paper, and glue it on top of your cardboard. I always teach you guys to scribble the glue. So in order to see that, I guess I'll do it right here on the cardboard so you can see how I scribble my glue. I don't scribble with crayons, I scribble with glue. And my orange tip is always touching the cardboard. I never hold it up like this and pour a big bubble of glue in the middle and say, "Mr. Grant, I'm done." And they take their artwork and smack it on there, and the glue is never spread to the edges. And then you don't really get the quality of an artwork, the kind of quality you would want to keep for a long time. So let's spread our glue to the edges, put our paper on top. It's also helpful to have a paper towel underneath. Okay? And so once I have the glue on one side, let's glue the other side. You can also glue your white sheet of paper if it fits first instead of the cardboard, if that helps you out. I'm doing this so that the camera can see how I spread my glue to the edges. Fold it over, and it might not stick right away, it might pop right off. So say, "Mr. Grant, it doesn't work, mine's not sticking." Well, what you need to do is hold it for 30 seconds and let it kind of stick, the glue and the white paper to stick together. And what you're going to do is the same exact thing I just showed you, only you're going to do it on a small piece of cardboard. This time I'm looking at my other thumb, because it's more convenient for me just to look at my opposite thumb of the hand I'm writing with. Another thing I wanted to point out is I'm using two parts of my marker. This is a chisel tip marker, so I'm turning it so that I'm using only the very tip of the marker to get a very sharp line for my artwork. If I want to color in big areas, I use the flat part of the marker. I know that seems like a small detail, but that is a big game changer for students, is to learn how to use just the teensy-beensy tip, just the tip, or the whole thing. I also recommend using less than 2 or 3 colors for most artworks, because it tends to get too busy and too messy when you use more than that. So I might do green and blue on one side and a couple different versions maybe of green and blue. And then on the opposite side, I'll go back and I can do the opposite side with red and another color. Once I have my fingerprint started, another idea is to cut it out in the shape of your fingerprint. So round the corners off, and when I cut, I'm not using the tip of my scissors, or this happens. And say, "Mr. Grant, my scissors don't work." Well, my tip is to use the very inside. When you do that, you can kind of guess the shape of your fingerprint. If you don't get a perfect oval circle, guess what? That's what makes it so cool and different, is how unique it is. And you're going to go back and look at this years from now and love the special, unique shape of your fingerprint, that it's not a perfect oval. You may not like it right now, but you will like it later. If you have a hole puncher, you can hole punch the top. If you don't have a hole puncher, you need to be careful when poking a hole with a pencil, but it can be done. You can't put it on the table and stab it through, right? You have to lift the cardboard up and try not to poke your finger. Hold it up and stab the pencil and twist it until you get it through the whole thing. Sometimes this is easier to do when your glue is not wet. When your glue is wet, it's very difficult. And can you tell what I'm going to be making with this yet? You can write a message on the back, to and from, and put some string right through the loop. And what you have is a special ornament if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, it's still a really neat artwork that you can give as a gift or hang up. Give a whole bunch of descriptive words to share with yourself and everyone else who you are in 2020. And I would definitely write 2020 or whatever year it is that you're in right now on your artwork to remember the details and the type of person you were during that year. It's a very meaningful and special thing to do. The Great I Am Project. That's what we'll call it. Thanks for watching, guys.